Okay, so this is my personal reflection. Um, so in response to how organized have I been, I think I've been pretty organized. I keep my blog updated regularly and I frequently check for things I might have missed, like such as today. I woke up and realized I hadn't done a recce record for the place I booked out. So I went and then made sure I got that done. Um, I also try and just keep everything in segments, which I very much like. Like, I'm very much someone who likes things in boxes and likes things laid out nicely. So I try and keep things comprehensive. I try and keep things in their own segments. Sometimes it does get a bit jumbled, I won't lie, because I ramble a little bit. But um, I do try and keep everything looking visually easy on the eyes and visually appealing. Um, like I said, I like to keep things in order, and I hope that's reflected in my work. How reliable have I been? I think I've been quite reliable. Of course, I'm still only human, and I will make mistakes. I will forget things sometimes, or leave things very last minute. I do have a habit of forgetting like some of the small, like the recce record, like some of the small but important things that can like be that difference between a merit and a distinction. And thankfully, I do usually end up remembering them, but it's still something that I do struggle with sometimes. But I think definitely doing it more and more, I will get accustomed to making sure I remember to do things like that. Um, I like to keep on top of tasks, and I try to keep people updated with where I am in a project, such as on Teams. We have a new thing on Teams where we keep people updated. We'll keep our teachers updated with what we do and where we're at in the project and what we're doing today and what we're doing next week and that sort of thing. Like, what still needs to be done, how much have we done since last time. And I like that. I like that because it helps me. I'm one of those. I find it easier to tell someone what I'm going to do, because that way they can be like, they can point out you don't have enough time for that, but also it helps me get it out my head, and in a weird way makes it like a real thing, not just an idea. Like, it's definitive now. I've said it, I have to live up to it, I have to do that now. So that definitely helps me, that definitely motivates me. I do try and think ahead as well. I do try and think about, okay, I'm doing this now, but what am I going to be doing next week? What am I going to be doing before that? Which is what a production schedule is for, really. But that sort of thing. I do like production schedules. I like to, yeah, I like to have things laid out. So I think I've been pretty reliable because of that. Have I met my deadlines so far? Yes, I have. Even if they are very much finished, like this one, like finished the night before it's due in. Um, I like to think I'm pretty good at time management. Again, that's why I like a production schedule. I like to know when I'm going to do things. I don't like having free time. Well, I like having free time, but I don't like having within a professional environment. I don't just like to sit there and be like, what am I going to do? Like, I like to constantly have something to do. So because I like to think I'm pretty good at time management, it hasn't been too difficult for me to keep on top of things and deadlines. How have you demonstrated professionalism? Or like, have I demonstrated professionalism? And to a degree, I think yes, I have. It's not really up to me to decide that, but I do try to conduct myself fairly professionally in my work. So I hope that others recognize that, such as I try to articulate myself in sort of a professional or formal manner. I like to make sure I'm up to date with things and that I do them to the full completion and with a sufficient degree of effort, and I don't just rush through things and that sort of thing. Sometimes, obviously, I will. Again, I'm only human, but I do like to make sure things are done properly. If you're gonna do it, you may as well do it properly. So, you know. And do I work better in a group or by myself? I tend to work better solo because I can follow my own creative vision without having to compromise with other people's. Like, I don't mind compromise. I think that it's something I'm okay, like I'm fairly good at. I'm able to compromise, but I've also found it insightful to work with other people as well as on my own, because working with other people takes a bit of a weight off your shoulders because you don't have to do everything by yourself. You don't have to fully rely on yourself. However, that is a bit of an issue for me because I like relying on myself. I don't really like relying on other people, so I have definitely found it easier to be on my own and do it because I'm very much I'm an only child, so I've had to sort of live my whole life knowing how to do things on my own and by myself and make sure it's done without other people reminding me to do it. So I think I've definitely worked better on my own.